You guys are muted.
I would assume they would not. I was assume they would mute everybody.
Mm-hmm. Przepraszam.
Hello, and welcome to the live reading of Work for a Living. Thank you all so much for coming, and my name is Liam Wirsansky, and I am the president and artistic director of White Mouse Productions, as well as the playwright of the show. So as a student at Florida State University, I was afforded the opportunity to complete an honors in the Major Thesis Project. Under the supervision of Drs. Chris Salata, Aaron C. Thomas, and Terry Boris, I've conducted research that examines the structural mechanisms of dystopic fictions and identifies the alienating factors that lie in their form. These stories often create a barrier of privilege that typically isolates an audience from the dystopian reality that surrounds them. Many times unrecognized is the dangerous role that these well-intentioned stories often have in supporting an idealized form of capitalist realism. So over the past year, my research has informed the development of this play. The last 2 weeks, I've spent workshopping the script with a cast of actors by leading read-throughs, character development exercises, and discussions. Throughout the 2 weeks, I've been able to revise my script based off of this work and to adapt the reading to this online platform. Tonight is the culmination of all of that work, and when it comes to a head, and my play will be put to the test to see how you all react and respond to the show. Following the show, I want to invite all of you to please fill out the feedback form that I've created so that I can continue the development of this script further and beyond the scope of this project. The link to that can be found in our Facebook event page or in the Zoom chat of this meeting. Some quick housekeeping before we get started. So if everyone could please turn on their hide non-video participants by clicking the 3 dots on the right-hand corner of your nameplate, or anyone else's nameplate whose camera is turned off. So when you click that, some options should come up, and hide non-video participant should be one of those options. You'll select that, so all of the actors will be the ones featured during the performance, and you won't see all of the other blank screens. In addition to that, we will be recording this show and broadcasting it to YouTube, which will be available for free at a later date. So please be mindful of the Zoom chat and don't post anything that you wouldn't want to be recorded. In addition, we have some really great White Mouse events coming up in the next few weeks. So our very own 2020 to 2021 playwriting fellow, Daniela Rodriguez, has written The Bench, which will go up on April 10th through the 11th at 2 p.m. And we also have Boring Black Play by the amazing Jessica Posey coming up on April 16th through the 18th. We also have the release of season 2 of The Newsroom, which is a sitcom-styled podcast about a college news station and the students who run it. I believe that should be everything. So again, I want to thank you all so much for coming. And without further ado, I present Work for a Living.
Work for a Living, Scene 1. A large, dark, and dimly lit room. There are 2 large metal machines on opposite sides of the room, making loud sounds in an industrial rhythm. There are also 3 conveyor belts on each side of the room, each with a worker stationed at it. As the conveyor belt moves, various items appear and are taken by the workers up the stairs to the top of the large machines. The machines clamp down on the items loudly, before the workers climb down and retrieve their newly sealed packages at the bottom. Then they place their package in the main chute that stands in the center of the room. The workers appear to be a well-oiled machine, but are constantly on guard, looking around as if someone was watching them. A rather large clock sits above the doorway in the back, which is guarded by 2 law enforcement agents, while Quincy stands supervising the floor, shouting commands or giving the workers instructions.
Ernest, I'm gonna need to see more out of you. Pick up the pace. Cannon, what did I say about skipping steps? I can't have you hurting yourself. We cannot afford to lose another worker on this goddamn floor. Slater, Sherman, did you forget to bring your heads to work today? What are you doing? Let's follow the system. It's here for a reason. Come on, we have a quota to meet. Let's go, let's go. 2 more minutes in our first cycle.
As Quincy shouts directions, Jay enters and approaches him unnoticed. He stands there silently, waiting to be acknowledged.
Are you just gonna stand there all day?
Oh, right. Hello, Mr. Quinton, sir. My name is Jay Foley, and I am the new packaging specialist. Reporting for duty.
You're late. Time is money, kid. I can't afford you losing me any. I've got a quota to meet.
Oh, right. Well, I was just in Mr. Million's office meeting with him.
Sure, that's what they all say.
It's true. I was just hired this morning.
I don't care where you were or how you got there. Just don't be late again. I'm the floor manager. I run a tight ship here.
Yes, sir, Mr. Quinton. It won't happen again.
My name is Quincy, boy. I don't even know where everyone gets the idea that my name is Quinton. Just call me Quinn. That will simplify things.
Sounds good, Mr. Quinn, sir.
Anything we can do to save time, we must. Names included.
Well, it's a good thing my name is Jay. Short, sweet, and to the point.
That's nice.
How can I get started? Quinn?
The workers finish packaging their items before turning off their conveyor belts. They power down, the items no longer appear. The workers all remove their goggles and gloves, relaxing into their own individual state of tranquility for their short break. Some sit on short footstools next to their stations.
That's it, boys. The cycle is over. Well, it looks like it's your lucky day. We've got a newbie on the floor, so I'm going to show him the ropes. You've got an extra 10 minutes because I'm feeling generous today. It'll make me regret it. Now, everyone give a warm welcome to Jay as he joins the packaging unit 106C family.
It's nice to meet all of you. I hope I can become a real asset to you guys.
Welcome to the team. Took you long enough to get here.
Working our asses off here, a man down. Glad you could join us.
Hope he's better than the last one we had. What was their name again?
Robin, was it? Mr. Million had his picture posted over the entire Hall of Physics for like a month.
What a pathetic excuse for a workmate. Left us all high and dry.
I mean, he can't be any worse than Quinny over here, huh?
Ah, shut it.
Don't worry, kid. His bark is worse than his bite.
You all just can't stand that I make a little more than you each day. Pathetic.
What about after taxes and facility fees? Compared to us, you're $1 million.
$1 million? Hey, I finally get it.
Shut up, Cannon. Don't joke about him.
What do you think, newbie? How much is old Cubone worth?
More than us?
All right, that's quite enough. We're cutting into your break as it is. Come on, Jay, let's get a move on.
Like I said, it's nice to meet you all.
Jay, if you'll follow me, I'll show you how everything works. So, you'll be filling in on this conveyor belt over here. We need more on the left side of the floor, and unfortunately, my own old hands aren't what they used to be.
Quincy leads Jay towards the only empty conveyor belt on the left side of the room.
You work on the line?
From time to time when circumstances demand it.
What kind of circumstances?
Quincy and Jay arrive at the conveyor belt.
This will be your station. I expect it to be kept clean and in immaculate condition.
Of course.
All right. Now, I'm going to show you how everything works. No one wants to lose a finger on their first day.
Has that really happened before?
Quincy removes his glove to show a hand with only 3 fingers.
Happens so much that I'd argue it's almost becoming a law. So, the good thing is that it usually doesn't happen a second time to most people.
Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it.
Just try to give me at least a week or so without having to use my hands for something as trivial as paperwork over a lost finger.
I'll do my best, Mr. Quinn, sir. I'll work very carefully.
Good. But don't get the idea that you should be going slower because of that. We all get punished when our quotas aren't met. No one gets paid.
Right, of course.
Anyways, I wouldn't worry about losing a finger too much. Your body is your business, though, so you have to take care of it.
Of course, of course.
Sometimes a finger comes off, though. It can't be helped. Doesn't hurt that you also get a day off to go to the medical bay.
We get days off?
Only as you lose a finger or any other minor injuries. Actually, you reminded me. We need to get your official worker ID number, then you'll be signed up for the pay time off lottery.
I thought you said I had to get a minor injury for me to get time off work.
Well, each employee is given 2 days off a year. However, all those days are funneled into the Injury Compensation Fund of AmeriCorp. That essentially pays for everyone's work-related injuries.
So other workers are getting my time off.
We take care of our own, whether we know them or not. You may not like it, but you can always get the vacation time back through the lottery that I was telling you about.
So how does it work?
Well, each day, the company randomly picks an employee ID number, and the winner is given a full day off, so there's always still a chance to win. A little something to hope for. You can even put in some of your paycheck to buy better odds, but I don't recommend it.
Oh, what a prize. Wonder what I would do if I won.
Don't spend too much time thinking about it. I've lost too many workers on this floor because of that.
It won't happen again.
Let's see how long that lasts. Let's get you started so we don't lose any more time.
Perfect. What do I do?
I'll demonstrate for you. So, what you want to do first is grab your work gloves and goggles from the hook above those 2 buttons and put them on.
Jay carefully removes the goggles and gloves and puts them on. The gloves are beat up and have holes and burn marks from previous use. The goggles are dirty and worn.
All right, I think I'm ready. Gloves and goggles are secure.
Quincy removes a note card from his clipboard with a script on it, which he reads aloud and somewhat robotically.
Congratulations, you've now been fitted with your brand new your work equipment. When you wear this uniform, you represent AmeriCorp. With every word you speak and every action that you take, you must represent the company in a proud and professional way. Lead through hard work. It is the only thing that sets you free.
Thank you. I won't let AmeriCorp down.
Wheeler and some of the other workers snicker at Jay's enthusiasm.
All right, now that all of those ridiculous formalities are done, we can actually get started.
As Quincy speaks, he also physically demonstrates exactly what he wants Jay to do.
Now, you're going to want to make sure your knees are bent and you're ready in your starting position. As soon as it's time for the cycle to begin, you'll hear an alarm and see a green flashing light. You'll get used to it. Once that happens, you'll want to click on the button at the top right there, yeah. Every time you hit that button, an item appears. One by one, you'll delicately handle each item and bring it up the stairs.
Seems simple enough. And we just bring them up there?
Quincy pretends to pick up an invisible item. Quincy motions for Jay to follow him. They climb up the stairs and arrive at the top of the sealer.
So, once you get there, you'll scan your barcode right here and quickly set your item on the platform like this. The barcode should be on the lining of your gloves. Yeah, right there. Once you've made it past the month mark, you'll get a nice looking tattoo of it on your wrist like this.
Quincy lowers his sleeve to reveal his own barcoded wrist.
What is it?
It's that worker ID number I was telling you about. You know, for the lottery. Each employee has a unique identification number specific to them. It proves to everyone that you are who you say you are.
Why can't I get mine now? Why do I have to wait a month?
Just to make sure you're worth the investment. It shouldn't hurt a bit.
So it's like an initiation test then?
Maybe more like a trial process, but sure, if you want to look at it like that.
Well, I can assure you that this is no trial.
Of course not. Anyways, for now, you'll use the temporary ID on those gloves. Once you scan your barcode, you'll remove your hands as fast as you can, like this, okay? Get any part of your body away from the platform because the compression plate will come down and catch you as if you're nothing.
Catch a finger?
Maybe even two if you're not careful. That's why it's so important to make sure you watch your items disappear.
Quincy leads Jay down the stairs.
Once you see a clear platform, you'll make your way down the stairs and get your package. Bring it over the central chute and release it. Finally, you'll go back to your station and start the grand old process all over again. Nothing too hard or complicated, right?
Not at all.
Good, because we're almost out of time for the next cycle. Do you have any questions before you get started?
I think everything makes sense to me. The only thing I'm maybe wondering about is if there's another way things can be done. I just feel like it might be a little faster if we...
I didn't mention it before, but there is such a thing as a stupid question. I've just spent my entire break teaching you how we do things here, and you question my authority. The supervisor of this floor. I have carefully designed the most efficient strategy for packaging, and that's all you need to know.
I'm sorry. I really meant no disrespect. I just thought that...
Well, you thought wrong, maggot. Fall in line and let me handle the thinking.
Yes, sir.
You're already on thin ice, Jay, and it's only your first day. I don't have time to waste on you anymore. Ernest, answer any other ridiculous questions Jay here might have, okay?
Quincy makes his way over to the control panel and picks up his clipboard, scanning it.
Don't pay him any mind. He's just trying to earn your respect.
It's no big deal.
It looks like we're about to get started. Anything you want to know before? It's important that you talk while you don't talk while you're on the floor, or you'll get a citation from a law enforcement agent. So get out any last words or questions before the cycle gets going.
What if I have to go to the bathroom?
Well, corporate policy is that you have to be scanned by the law enforcement agent, standing guard at the door every time you leave the room. Obviously, you can't leave while we're working during cycles, and most people don't have quick enough bladder to make it back and forth in their 2-minute breaks.
So I just hold it?
You just got to be discreet. Yeah.
Ernest tosses a bottle to Jay.
What is this?
It's your new portable bathroom. I've got a few of my own, so I'm willing to share.
This is a bottle.
And the bathroom. Well, at least while you're here, and make it last. I've only got the one to spare.
Oh, this should be fun. What if I can't get it to fit?
If it doesn't fit, you better be ready to hold it.
Oh, good.
All righty, boys. It's time to start the next cycle. Get all your equipment back on and ready your stances.
The workers grumble and slog to get themselves back on their feet. Once standing at their respective conveyor belts, they each take their goggles and gloves and put them on, including Jay. He is trying a little too hard to meet the form of Quincy's stance.
You've had an extra long break, so I'm expecting even more effort this cycle. We've also got Jay on board now, so we should be running at full capacity. Cycle is starting in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Quincy presses a button on the control panel. The workers, in a very orderly fashion, turn on their conveyor belts and begin the process. Jay is a beat behind the rest of his side of the room and looks around nervously. Wheeler pauses to try to allow Jay to go up the sealer stairs first, but moves up the stairs after waiting impatiently for a few moments. Ernest follows up after him mere seconds after. Wheeler nonchalantly speaks to Ernest as they walk up the stairs. Jay follows them up slightly behind.
Tell Jay to pick up the pace. He should be leading our side.
No, just swap the order on our side until Jay can catch up and figure it out. He'll get this order soon enough.
Well, I'm not taking the fall if Quinn notices we're out of order.
Don't worry about it. Cue ball should just be happy that we're still keeping pace.
Well, we better, or you both will be getting it more from just Quinn if things don't change. And soon.
Yeah, it's such a trap, really. You're not intimidating anyone.
Wheeler scans his barcode and places his item in the sealer.
I mean it. Get your shit together, Jay.
Wheeler walks down the stairs to retrieve his package. Ernest looks over the railing and observes Wheeler removing his package from the sealer.
It took all of us a bit to learn the process, but once you do, though, it'll become habit, like a second nature. You'll be able to do it in your sleep. Yeah. Sometimes I even wake up at night from a dream of this very moment.
Ernest begins scanning his barcode before placing the item on the platform and quickly removing his hands away.
Your first time getting hurt on one of these is definitely your last. Just try not to think about it too much. You doing okay? Jay.
I thought we couldn't talk during cycles. I just don't want a citation on my first day. I also don't definitely want to lose a finger. I like my fingers.
Well, we can talk carefully and quietly when we're up here. The law enforcement agents have good technology, but their sensors can't hear us up here.
What about Quinn?
You just got to be cautious of him. But even his hearing's gotten pretty bad over the years.
Any advice on not losing a finger?
Just pay attention to what you're doing. I'm not going to let you lose a finger.
I just don't want to get hurt.
You know, we've had some workers that have actually taken advantage of that. They purposely lose a finger to get a day off. Can you imagine that?
Well, that's not me. I don't want to hurt anyone, and I don't want to get hurt.
I get it. Well, look, Jay, I need to go and get my package, so I can't stay up here with you, but you can do this. Just be careful. I got to move on, Jay.
Jay watches Ernest make his way down the stairs before retrieving the package. Jay slowly looks around before making his way over to the barcode scanner. He turns to the platform and just stares for a moment, wincing in fear. Just as Jay prepares to scan his barcode, Wheeler walks up behind him holding another item.
You're still here? Hurry up and get going. You're going to get us all in trouble.
I'm sorry. I'm on it right now.
Frantically, Jay scans his barcode and quickly puts the item on the platform haphazardly, taking his hands away while recoiling his entire body in the opposite direction. The item is not centered and sticks out from the platform's plate.
No, you didn't place it right. It's got to be...
What?
The sealer's compression plate clamps down on the item, but gets jammed as it nears the bottom. The item is slowly crushed as the compression plate continues to push down. Ernest walks up behind them with another item.
What's going on?
Your star pupil just jammed the sealer.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just...
It doesn't matter. Wheeler, turn the sealer off now.
Wheeler hits a button on the machine's control panel quickly.
What's going on? Why are you all congregated up there? I need some hustle, boys.
What do I do? What do I do? I didn't mean to
But you did. So you're going to own up and take the punishment. And you'll have to pay for a damaged item on top of it.
Come on, Wheeler. It could happen to any of us on our first date.
It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. No matter what, we're all expected to get a certain amount of packages sealed, and this jam is stopping us from doing that.
I can fix this. There's got to be a way. I just know it.
Is someone going to give me an answer? I'll come up there if I have to.
I'm sorry, Jay. He's right. We've got to get this machine working again, or we're all in deep shit. When a sealer goes down, it's a big deal.
And a damaged item on top of that.
But...
Quincy, we got an issue up here.
I figured as much. I'm coming.
Quincy begins ascending the stairs to reach the top of the sealer, where Jay, Ernest, and Wheeler are.
It's my first day. I can't...
Don't worry about it, kid. I'm going to take care of this.
But I can't pay for...
I said, don't worry about it.
What's going on? What seems to be the problem?
We've got a bad jam. Looks like Jay here.
Jay tried to help me fix it, but we couldn't get it unclogged.
You waste everyone's time when you attempt to solve issues like this on your own. This item is surely beyond salvageable repair as well. This is quite a mess. Now, not that I want to go around pointing fingers, but I have to know whose fault this is, so I can punish them accordingly. step forward, and the punishment will be swift and severe. I am not going to be held accountable for this.
Mr. Quinn, Quinn, I'm sorry.
Just as I suspected. I suppose that didn't take long, but it's really a shame that...
Jay, it's fine. You don't need to take the blame for me. I appreciate it, but I've been here long enough to know when I deserve to be punished.
But what?
This is true, Ernest. You did this.
I'm sorry to say, it was me.
Ernest, you really expect me to believe that? You, of all people.
What can I say? It's not like I haven't made one before.
It's your history of covering for others that's making me suspicious of you, Ernest. You're covering for Jay, it's obvious.
Just because it's his first day doesn't mean I couldn't have made a mistake. Just ask Wheeler.
Me?
Wheeler, is this true? Did Ernest jam the sealer?
I wasn't there. I can't know for sure.
Jay, did you see this happen?
No.
Is this really how it's going to be, Ernest?
Sorry, Quinn.
Well, I suppose I have nothing but your words to go off of. Fine. It's settled then. Ernest, I know you didn't do this, and as much as I hate to lose your hands on deck, please follow me down to the law enforcement agents who will escort you to the reflection room.
Very well.
At this point, it is. Maybe then you'll think about polling about this type of stunt again. You'll have a week in there before you can come back. Your paychecks will also be confiscated and redirected to pay for the item that you destroyed.
It's what I deserve.
But
do you have something else to say, Jay?
No.
Interrupt me again, and you're more than welcome to join Ernest to reflect.
That won't be necessary. Come on, Quinn, let's go. You don't want to waste any more time.
Quincy leads Ernest down the steps towards the law enforcement agents.
Officers, take this employee to the reflection room and process him for a week's punishment. Also, redirect his paycheck to cover the cost of one dish display rack.
The law enforcement agents handcuff Ernest.
Very well. Please input your authorization PIN in my partner's number pad.
Law enforcement agent 2 reveals a number pad on his chest plate. Quincy types in his 4-digit PIN.
Verified and accepted.
Employee, please allow my partner to scan your barcode.
Ernest holds out his right wrist while law enforcement agent 2 scans the barcode on it.
Verified and accepted.
Thank you. Your request has been authorized.
Employee number 04269 will now be escorted to booking.
I'll see you all again soon. I hope.
The law enforcement agents escort Ernest out of the room through the central back double doors.
We still got a cycle going on. Come on, let's move it. We're down a sealer, so I'm going to need to see some extra hustle. Wheeler, Jay, you're going to carry your items over to the other sealer and filter into that side's line. I have to make a call to the utility department to see if we can get a mechanic in here ASAP. Now, if I get off the phone and you all aren't working in perfect harmony, then I'm going to raise a fiery and blistering hell. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why did Ernest do that? What just happened?
I don't know. I guess some of us still care about each other. He's one of the few left.
But where did they take him?
They're taking him to the factory's reflection room. He'll have time to think about what you did for a week, and then maybe we'll get him back.
What's it like?
I don't know. Ernest's the only one who's ever come back from it since I've been working here. I've never heard him talk about it.
Well, I'll just have to ask him when he comes back then.
Not if you keep up the way you're going now. You've got a lot of work to do. Let's move it, newbie.
Scene 2. Hours later, the unit is approaching the end of the last cycle of the day. The workers have gotten into a good rhythm with the adjustments of having only one sealer to the whole floor. While the workers wait in line to seal their items, they lightly converse. A mechanic is seen working on a repair for the broken sealer. Quincy sits at his desk next to the control panel, compiling numbers and calculating production quotas.
So, newbie, you offsite or onsite?
Excuse me?
He's talking about your residence. Like, where do you live for the short time you don't work here?
I thought I was making sense, but then again, how can the world make sense when I'm about to package a portable home?
Those doesn't seem to be popular lately.
I didn't know we could live on site. My family has a... I live in a home.
Well, it's pretty nice.
Town.
Wheeler rounds to the back of the line. Coming up the stairs as Sherman walks down the other way. Cannon makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process.
You mean if you've got nowhere else to go?
Facility fee ain't too pretty either.
But if you've got nowhere else to go,
you're always welcome here. Such a joke.
You all just can't appreciate the things you already have. We're lucky to get to live here.
I guess it's obvious that Wheeler lives here. Well, we all do. Not too often we get a newbie who doesn't. So what part of town do you hail from?
He's probably just lying to look better.
Don't be jealous, Wheeler. We don't get to choose the circumstances we're born into. After all, Quinny doesn't live on site either.
Exactly. And at least we can take pride in knowing we're not from the underground.
Sherman rounds to the back of the line, coming up the stairs as Cannon walks down the other way. Slater makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process.
Who's from the underground? I can't stand to even think about everything they've done.
No one's from the underground. We were just asking Jay where he lived. Apparently he's an offsider.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
I wouldn't be too sure. Maybe Jay really is from the underground. Yeah. Now look closely. I can see it. Just a little lighter than you might imagine.
Quit it. You're making him uncomfortable.
And me.
And besides, it's just the lighting.
And your glazed eyes. Besides, Jay isn't scum like the actual termites that live underground.
Cannon rounds to the back of the line. Coming up the stairs as Slater walks down the other way. Jay makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process.
How about I just put it to rest? I am not from the underground, and I'd appreciate it if we dropped it.
Then where are you from?
I live in the United Gates, concourse HM7894. Is that good enough, Wheeler?
Watch it, newbie.
I don't need anyone thinking I'm from the underground the rest of the time I work here.
Well, if you ever want to consider living here, just let me know. I need a roommate.
I wouldn't recommend it. Cannon just wants to scam you out of his facility fee.
Shut it. It's a surefire way for both of us to save a little dough. What do you say, Jay?
Slater rounds to the back of the line. Coming up the stairs as Jay walks down the other way. Wheeler makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process.
And he's gone.
Wait, to find out sooner or later that no one else had any roommates. Come on, it's his first day. He already saw Ernest get taken.
Exactly. Trick him while he still doesn't know.
He's not that stupid. Come on, he made it this far.
So is Jay from the underground? I missed what he said.
Yes,
No, he's not.
He lives off-site.
Supposedly.
United Gates. Sounds pretty nice.
Well, it's not too hard to beat living here. Just dreaming about it seems nice.
Wonder what it's like out there.
Maybe we'll get to see it one day if we can win that damn lottery.
Jay rounds out the back of the line. Coming up the stairs as Wheeler walks down the other way. Sherman makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process.
What are you all dreaming about?
The end of this shift.
Are you sure about that? Isn't it a little early to be thinking about that?
Why? When do we get off?
You took the job without even asking. That desperate?
Just eager to get started. I read the contract that I signed.
Look at him. The big man got a
Got a contract, Sherman. He looks like he's got a future here.
What does that mean? You guys don't have one?
On a normal day, we'd get off at 1:37. With all of the halts we've had in packaging today, though, we'll definitely be pushing some overtime. Maybe even an all-nighter.
Only a man down in Q-tip is fine enough with production to sit on his ass instead of helping out. Maybe we aren't as behind as we think we are.
Wheeler rounds to the back of the line. Coming up the stairs as Sherman walks down the other way. Cannon makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process.
I mean, it's his death wish. He's probably banking on that mechanic, which is a shit risk if you ask me.
Can someone tell me what Sherman meant when he was talking about my contract?
Wait, you've got a contract?
Maybe Quinny will let us off at the normal time and make us come in early tomorrow.
Don't rub it in, Jay. Not all of us are lucky enough to get a contract.
There's one thing he can stand, it's coming in early.
What are you talking about, Cannon? And why do you keep ignoring me, Slater?
Slater's just sensitive about it. Quincy rubs it in our faces all the time.
He also can't stand staying late. I wonder what we'll do.
Well, what can he stand?
Apparently he can't even stand up.
Jay, look, I'm sorry. You probably just don't know this, but everyone that lives on site is actually born here. We don't get contracts.
Actually, our birth certificates are our contracts. Kind of, but we don't get a special consideration position for leadership like you do.
Why not?
Wait, shh. Look over there.
Hannah points over to Quincy, who is consulting with the mechanic. The workers all remain silent as soon as they see him and continue the packaging assembly line. Sherman rounds to the back of the line, coming up the stairs as Hannah walks down the other way. Slater makes their way to the scanner and begins the packaging process. The workers now whisper when they speak.
What's going on, guys?
Shh. Quinn is over there, and the other seal are talking with the mechanic.
Guess it's the waiting game for us.
How about the quiet game?
Why don't you come over here and make me?
Why don't I?
Shh. Shut it.
I'm about ready to shut all of you up.
The workers finish packaging and turn off their conveyor belts, as well as hang up their equipment.
That's it for that one, boys. Finish up. I've got to talk to you.
Quincy walks down the stairs from the sealer with the mechanic, who exits after being scanned by the law enforcement agents. Quincy gathers the workers to congregate at the center of the floor.
Now, considering everything that's happened today, the numbers were not as bad as I thought they'd be. However, we are still very behind, and I don't think any one of us wants to lose out on our paycheck at the end of the week, huh? The mechanic just told me that the left sealer here won't be up and running again until early tomorrow morning because the welding they did has to go cool or something. They'll be working right again before our shift normally starts. I've decided I'm going to give you all a choice because I'm feeling generous. We can either stay here and put in more cycles until we catch back up, or we can put our paychecks, really our integrity at risk, and leave right now. Now, do you all trust yourselves to come in earlier than normal tomorrow? I can't say that I do. In fact, I would probably just say that it's better to keep working until we catch right back up. I feel as though that would be the best option. Don't you all agree? But yes, I did say I would give you all a choice. So let's have a vote, shall we? Who wants to keep working?
All the workers raise their hand except for Jay.
Oh, wait. Can I say something?
Well, I really don't.
If we wait until tomorrow morning to work, we'll have the other sealer and some rest. So we'll be able to get more done than we'd be able to tonight. I can see how tired you all are. Your energy is important.
Okay, all right. That's enough. Quite enough out of you. We'll be staying the night. The votes were already cast.
Actually, can I change my vote?
Yeah, me too. It might be nicer to go get some rest.
I was actually confused. I thought I was voting for the other option.
Jay, do you really think we could catch up if we don't stay the night?
Based on what I've seen out of all of you, I feel that with the right.
Too bad. It's been decided.
He just wants to leave now because he lives off site. Jay's just looking out for himself.
Is that true, Jay? Trying to sell us short?
Your own benefit?
I would never do that. I want us to meet our quotas just as much as you all do. I was just trying to get you all more rest.
How can we know for sure? It's a longer commute for you to be at home, right?
United Gates, was it?
You're probably just going to go home and live it up in luxury while we're stuck here picking up your slack.
How can I prove it? How can I prove that I'm on your side, that I'm telling the truth?
Jay, since you think you know what's best for all of us, why don't you stay here and work the rest of the night? You can bring up the numbers back to speed. Or can't you? Then the rest of us can get some rest. Regardless, we'll be closer to our quota when we get started tomorrow. How does that sound?
Frankly, I thought you'd never ask. I'd be happy to. Is that sufficient enough for you all?
Well, I'm not complaining at the idea of someone else doing my work.
Yeah, that works for me.
Just be careful, Jay.
And we'll just see how he does.
Perfect. I won't let you all down.
Then it's settled. We'll see how you all feel about that attitude in the morning. All right, everyone. Jay will be logging in overtime hours tonight, while the rest of you can all get some well-deserved rest. Unit 106C, you're officially relieved for tonight. Please report back tomorrow morning at 5:06 for packaging duties.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
please,
sir.
please remember to collect and dispose of your urine. I refuse to work where it smells soiled.
Anything else I need to know before you leave, Quinn?
Guys, come on, get moving, get out of here. Sorry. No broken machines. The quota sheets are on my desk. I better see high numbers completed by the time I get back in the morning. You've got the floor to yourself, Megan.
Of course.
Actually, there is just one last thing, Jay. I don't like you, and I want you to know that I have a zero tolerance for liars. I'm on to you. Ernest was my best man on the floor. I've known him for a very long time. I know that he wouldn't and he couldn't make a mistake like that. You deserve the punishment that he got. Don't forget that.
Quincy grabs Jay by the chin and moves his face very close to his own to make intense eye contact.
You won't be so lucky next time.
Quincy tosses Jay to the side and exits through the double doors, leaving Jay alone in the room. Jay walks over to the desk and picks up the quota sheet. He carefully reads over it before looking around and scanning the room. Scene 3. Jay is still working. The room has been transformed from the night before. As Jay maneuvers 2 mail carts that are now full, the carts carry different items that come out of the conveyor belts. Jay has a very organized system to collect the items. Once his carts are filled, he brings them over to the left sealer, using a rigged pulley that he has also built. Jay is able to transport several items up the stairs without having to bear the weight of the load. He is able to quickly scan the items and seal them, which now slide down a fixed ramp and into another mail cart at the bottom of the sealer. Finally, when the load is empty, Jay releases the pulley and lets it back down to its original starting position before heading down to the other side of the stairs to bring the packages to the central chute. Sometime in the middle of one of these cycles, Quincy enters and angrily observes Jay's alterations to the floor and cycle process. After completing the cycle, Jay sits down for a rest before finally noticing Quincy.
I come in here expecting to find you dead, and it appears I've stumbled upon something far worse. What have you done? What is the meaning of all of this?
Jay walks over to the desk and picks up the quota sheet and a pen. He writes down a few numbers before returning to Quincy and handing him the sheets. Quincy scans them.
We have a quota to make. We have to make the quota, just like you said.
I didn't say anything about changing the way we package here.
According to the numbers I was able to get done, we're now ahead of schedule.
So you can read those sheets? Maybe I didn't give you enough credit. You're sharper than I thought. How is that possible?
You want me to explain to you how you were wrong?
No, you sarcastic scab. I'm frustrated that I wasn't warned about you. I had no idea that they were sending me a contracted employee.
Is there a problem with that?
Just stay in line and don't get any funny ideas. And that doesn't mean you can just do as you please.
You know, with all the work I got done, I was thinking you might just have to eat your own words.
I don't care what you did. I want all of it gone. When I'm done with you, there will be plenty of hell to pay, boy. I can promise you that.
For what? What did I do?
You directly disobeyed my orders.
Really? Oh, well, that's quite interesting because I did exactly what you said. I caught us back up.
You're missing the point.
Good work is good work, though. I improved upon your process with absolutely no budget. Nothing is broken, and I can always put everything back if I need to.
I don't care. Do you understand how this makes me look? You have to be punished.
But why? You haven't given me a good answer.
Don't you see that I'm trying to maintain the order of this unit? It's for your own good. A man cannot see, cannot think without his head. I am the head of this unit, and you will listen to your head.
But how are you going to explain that in one night I was able to get us to our current numbers, and that I was punished because of it? They'd probably doubt you even more than they do. Right, old Cubone?
You don't know what you're talking about.
My point is that you had to pretend that my work didn't happen. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'd be more than happy to bring it to the attention of Mr. Millions. After all, production is a premium. And so is time.
Brat. You absolute brat. I suppose you're not as dumb as you look, though. Certainly not as foolish as the others on the floor.
Why, thank you.
Look, I won't punish you right now, but I want all of this gone before everyone else gets here. And don't think that you're off the hook this easily.
And what do you want me to tell the workers when they ask me how I got us so far ahead of schedule?
You won't say anything. I control the numbers. They won't know anything is out of the ordinary unless I tell them.
So you want me to lie to them? I don't think I should. They aren't as dumb as you might think. In fact, I don't think I should change anything at all.
Quincy goes to grab Jay by the chin, but Jay slaps Quincy's reaching hand away.
This is about respect and order. You don't have the power to make these decisions. You aren't the boss. You work for a living. So stay in line. Do what I say, or your life will truly be a living hell from now on.
A real boss would care and listen to what I have to say. They'd listen to what all of their workers had to say because our thoughts matter.
Our unit's success is contingent on my leadership and supervision, not yours, Jay.
You rely on all of us for the unit's success. You don't make it on your own. What if one day we all just disappeared?
I've lost the little patience I had left. Besides, you're all easily replaceable at the end of the day.
If I have an idea that will increase productivity and cut down on time, then you'd be a fool to ignore it.
Then I suppose I'm a fool in your eyes. But in my eyes, I am a god. I am the god of Unit 106C, and what I say goes. I didn't get this far by being nice or patting my employees on the back. That surely will not change today. Now, you will do what I say, even if it means lying. And you will do what I say, or I'll make sure you don't live to see another day here.
Quincy, I'm not a pushover. You can't scare me that easily. On the other hand, I do know when to play my cards. This round, I may not have the right hand, but the time will come very soon.
There's no card you could possibly play to take down a god. Not even some ace up your sleeve.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're right. Look, I'll agree to your demands if you agree to allow me to work as much overtime as I want. Unsupervised.
Work more for free. You don't make any sense at all. Why should I listen to you?
With one man down, we could use the extra help on the back end.
But you'd have to do it my way.
Your way, my way. You'll never even need to know. Just know that I won't step on your feet if you don't step on mine.
I'm the one with leverage here. Don't think I forgot about Ernest.
All righty, Quinn. For now, I'll go along with what you have to say. I'll take everything down and keep my mouth shut. But just remember, the cards are already being reshuffled.
Jay, my boy, this is bigger than you realize. There are moving parts in this factory that you could never understand. At the end of the day, I'm doing this to protect you. to protect all of Unit 106C, and to do that, I need your respect.
Nothing is ever too big to understand unless you don't try. You don't protect us. You protect yourself with this so-called respect. And at the end of it, do you have any left for us?
Jay looks at the room's clock.
Looks like the first cycle will be starting in half an hour. If you want all this gone by the time the team arrives for our shift, then I suggest lending me a hand.
Fine, but I'm the one who will be calling the shots from now on.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Quincy and Jay scowl at each other as they begrudgingly begin moving the pieces to the floor, reverting the room back to its original state. Scene 4. Days later, an extravagant office is decorated with worldly and cultural artifacts illuminates the stage. A giant cherrywood desk sits above a giant bearskin rug. There's a large black cushioned chair behind the desk, as well as a fireplace that is located firmly behind the chair. There are 2 exquisite gold cushioned chairs sitting in front of the desk. A rather large filing cabinet sits behind the desk as well. Various shelves surround the office, filled with decorations, such as a globe. Knickknacks and beautiful artistic pieces take up any other empty space, just as neatly organized files, papers, and office supplies occupy the top of the desk. Mr. Millions sits at the desk in his office with reading glasses on. He takes notes and calculates numbers before a knock on the door is heard.
Hello, Mr. Millions?
Yes, Gracia, come in.
Gracia enters.
Jay Foley is here to see you for your first weekly breakfast appointment.
Well, he's here early. Well, let him in. I've got the Danishes already right over here.
Thank you, sir. I'll let him right in.
Gracia exits. Mr. Millions looks over his papers one final time before gingerly standing up and walking over to the table near his desk. He retrieves the Danishes and brings them over to his desk. After, Mr. Millions pulls out a rather large napkin out from one of the drawers in his desk and tucks it into his suit like a bib. Jay enters his office.
Oh, good morning, sir. How are you today?
Oh, very pleasant. A fine morning. A busy morning, but a fine one indeed. How about you, Jay? How was your first week on the job, Ben?
Well, it's certainly not what I expected.
Well?
It's even better.
Well, you got me again.
Eh?
I've heard more of the first answer than I care to. Tell me more.
Well, I've been taking initiative, like you said. I've been putting in so much overtime, I pretty much live here now.
Oh, good, good. Adopting my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were something special when I found you.
That means so much.
Well, I don't say it lightly, Jay.
Oh, thank you, sir. Truly. What else can I report?
Well, tell me more about your unit. How's your cohesion? The production? I trust your opinion on these matters.
My unit's a room of rowdy but strong workers. They may not all be the brightest, but they have the skills to do big things.
I see here in my notes that you're down a man.
Yes. Unfortunately, he got taken to a reflection room on my first day. He should hopefully be coming back today.
Tragic. But there's no sense in wishing away the past. It's a pity that these things happen, but that's the way they learn their lesson.
That's what I've heard. We'll all be glad to have him back. The unit needs all the help we can get.
Yeah, down a sealer and a man. And I see your unit has still been able to keep up pace with their numbers. So why do you need more help?
The numbers don't tell the whole picture. We only go as far as our supervisor Quincy does. He doesn't know what he's doing, and at this point, I've had a few disagreements with him about how he manages the floor.
Quentin? right? Yeah, well, everything should be standard procedure with him.
That's what he says, but he just uses this as an excuse to be a lazy, arrogant, spineless, no good.
Okay, Jay, slow down. A good leader must always stay composed. You have a contract, remember? I expect better.
I'm sorry, sir. I understand. It's just that he doesn't even give a damn about what any of us have to say. It's my ideas that are getting the unit by, not his leadership.
The overtime you've been putting in?
I figured out a way that my packaging unit can increase their productivity by nearly 4 times the rate that we are currently producing, sir, with no additional cost.
No cost?
I believe so, if my math is right. And I'm assuming it can be applied to other packaging units too.
And Quincy knows about this?
Yes, he knows. I constructed the setup on my first overtime shift. You see, I wanted to catch our numbers back up so we wouldn't miss the weekly quota. In one night, I was able to get us back ahead of schedule.
So I've noticed.
Quincy came in early the next morning and told me that there would be grave consequences if I told anyone when he saw it.
He wanted you to hide it?
Exactly. He made me put it all back and agree not to say anything. I know he's my supervisor, but I just refuse to hide something like this from you. I'm your eyes and ears. I'm loyal to you.
I hear you perfectly clear, Jay. So you're the one that's been keeping the floor on track each night.
Instead of pitching in, Quincy just sits around like a loaf. He just pretends to run numbers all day. We're a man down. He can only do that because of my work.
You know, it seems like that to me as well.
I mean, just imagine how much more we could get done if the entire floor adopted my method.
Why don't you try it?
How?
Well, it seems to me that you've been more of a boss to your unit than old Quincy there, right?
Well,
I mean, don't you agree? And don't you think your unit would be better off if you were the supervisor? I mean, that's what I've been able to conclude from what you've been telling me. Am I wrong?
Well, no, of course not, but
Well, then we think alike. I think you will too.
You do?
So we're in agreement.
I'm confused. Is Quincy fired? Did I just get promoted?
Okay. It will become quite clear soon enough. Remember, this is your problem to solve. Promotions aren't just given. They have to be earned.
But I don't understand. How do I do that?
I encourage you to use any means necessary and know that you have my support. I will be watching closely.
But I'm not really sure if...
Oh, my. Look at the time. Jay, I have an appointment very soon that I must attend to. It's been pleasant to catch up with you over breakfast. I look forward to hearing your report at our next breakfast appointment.
Mr. Millions, I just...
Jay, I need to prepare for this meeting. I don't want to have to ask you to leave again.
I know, but sir, respectfully...
Mr. Million stands up fiercely behind his desk, reaches over and plucks Jay off of the ground by his collar.
Do you mean to make me repeat myself for a third time? Look, I have said what I said. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, now then get out of my sight.
I just... Yes, sir.
Mr. Million releases Jay from his grip, and his body drops to the ground. Jay scurries out of Mr. Million's office. Mr. Million sits down and brushes off his shirt. He looks around for a moment before bringing his attention back to his papers. He scans them once more before picking up his phone and dialing 2 numbers. Gracia enters.
Hello, Mr. Millions?
Yes, Gracia, it's me. I need you to call my accountant and let him know that case number 12 will be taken care of soon. I'll give him confirmation as soon as the retirement fund is secure.
Of course, sir. Is there anything else that I can do for you?
Well, do you have my ledgers prepared for this afternoon's meeting with the board of directors?
I'm putting them into their sheet protectors as we speak.
Speaking of which, I'll need to brief you on the meeting notes after the board departs. Make sure to dress appropriately.
Yes, sir, Mr. Millions.
Thank you. That'll be all for now.
Mr. Millions, one more thing. Your next appointment seems to be coming down the hall. Shall I send him in when he gets here?
Very well. I've got the Danishes right over here.
Mr. Millions retrieves the Danishes from the drawer of the table near his desk and brings them over.
Send him in.
Right away, sir.
Mr. Millions sits back down at his desk and starts to review his papers before preparing the Danishes to eat. After a moment, a boy, Greg, very similarly looking to Jay, walks into his office.
Oh, good morning, Greg. How are you doing? What is this, your 3rd week on the job now? How's it going for you? It's always so refreshing to see you. I enjoy my breakfast with company.
Scene 5. A few days later, the room of Unit 106C is busy at work. Jay and Wheeler work at a faster rate to keep pace with the other side. Quincy watches and barks orders from his chair.
Up and at 'em! You're all looking pathetic today. Wheeler, Jay, I know you can move those feet faster. You have to visualize the process. Pick it up. Walk up the stairs, scan it, place it, retrieve it, and down the chute. We're barely squeaking by as it is. I know that we can do better, even for a bunch of heathens like you. Pick it up, you pack of maggots.
Maybe if you actually got off your lazy ass and picked up a pair of gloves.
His head's probably too big for the goggles.
My theory is that he's been stuck on a bathroom model.
For the whole week? How long have you been sitting on that idea?
Well, what else is there to think about?
It may not be likely, but it's possible.
We've only got another 2 minutes on this cycle, and then we'll be at our midday break. You know that the harder you work, the faster time goes by. Think about that delectable, creamy, canned lunch. I need to see some grit out of you all. Hooligans, degenerates, good-for-nothings. Is that what you want to be? You better earn your lunch or risk starving for the rest of the shift.
You can't put in 2 items at once.
I'm not. It's still one at a time. I'm just not making 2 trips down the stairs.
You're gonna mess up the order of things.
Quinn said to pick up the pace, so I'm being innovative.
Just because we'll be able to package more items doesn't mean you could just do whatever you want.
I'm not watching over your shoulder and whispering threats in your ears, so I'd
Jay,
appreciate it
you're
if...
going to get us both in trouble.
Okay, just stop. I get it. I'll package normally after break.
I'll believe it when I see it.
The workers finish packaging their final items and turn off their conveyor belts. The law enforcement agents quickly exit the room and return carrying a table. They place it down in front of the central chute and unfold it.
Guess you all earned it today, but just barely. Old Sherman here needs to pick up his knees and work a little faster. Now, isn't that right?
I was doing my best, but I'll try even harder.
Very well. Bring them their lunch.
The law enforcement agents exit the room once more and return with 5 cans, which they place on the table.
Lunch is served to Unit 106C. Please type in your employee identification code to accept this meal or allow us to scan your barcode.
Law enforcement agent 2 reveals a number pad on his chest plate. One by one, the workers all either have their barcodes scanned or type in their identification codes with the law enforcement agents. As they are verified, they are given their own individual can of food.
All of the workers on the floor have been verified. Commencing break timer. Timer has begun.
We shall depart now and take our leave.
The law enforcement agents exit the room through the double doors.
Alrighty, boys, that should be all for now. And were you prepped and ready to go by the time I return from lunch? No funny business.
Quincy exits through the main double doors. The workers quietly begin to open their cans and eat. There is a conveniently placed spoon attached to the lid that the workers take off and use to eat. After a brief time, Kanan breaks the silence.
All right, they should be long gone by now.
Give it another 10 seconds.
The workers wait in unison, before finally all nodding to each other after the 10 seconds has passed.
Am I good? Can I talk now, Mommy?
You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm sure as hell not your mother, I just don't want us to get in trouble.
I think I'd be a much better mom.
Well, it definitely wouldn't be Wheeler.
Oh, shut it.
Quinny thinks he's our mom. Kind of looks like one too.
Nah. I think he looks more like this can of food stuff. What this? See?
You just look crazy now.
Oh no, Ken has finally gone mad, crazy mad.
Must be whatever in this stuff. I mean, what even is this?
I couldn't tell you until I've ever eaten.
Apparently, it's supposed to be high in nutritional value.
If you close your eyes, it doesn't taste too bad either. I mean, I'm already finished with mine.
Oh, shut it. You'd eat anything if you could.
I saw him sniffing a portable home the other day.
Don't tell us you weren't thinking about it.
Cannon's just in a pickle now that Ernest isn't here to give up his leftovers.
Ernest gave you his food?
Most every day. First week on the job, I started asking the table, and Ernest would just always slide his can over to me. At some point, I didn't even have to ask.
And it's just always been like that?
He's been here the longest out of all of us. Him and Quinn have been the constants of this unit. It's so strange for Ernest not to be here.
It feels like there's a giant gaping hole missing.
You know, there's bets going on, Jay. If Ernest has been here longer than Quinn, but I think that's a load of crap. I mean, have you seen Quinn?
Well, we'll set the record straight with him when he gets back.
He's never been willing to tell us.
He's to himself most of the time.
Well, it can't hurt to ask him when he returns.
Regardless, I can't wait for him to come back. I have so many questions to ask him.
You should have never ended up in the reflection room in the first place.
Agreed. That place is sick.
I mean, not to lose hope or anything, Jay, but Ernest may not come back.
A lot of people don't.
But some do. Ernest always comes back.
Why hasn't he come back yet, though? Wasn't he due back yesterday?
Basically, anyone that doesn't come back on time is usually delayed because of the massive system of workers that AmeriCorps has.
Miscommunications on worker transfers always cause a delay.
Back any day. Or in a month.
Or a year from now.
Or never again. It happens a lot.
Lost a lot of good workers through this system.
There's really no way to know until he gets back here.
I had no idea that we might never see him again.
You can say that again, newbie.
Lighten up a little, especially with all the newbie talk. Jay's more than pulled his weight since he got here.
I mean, it's almost like he's a good luck charm. Since Jay started, we've managed to get our packaging back on track.
And we met last week's quota.
With everything that happened, there's no way that we should have been able to.
You're all giving him way too much credit.
For once, Wheeler's right.
I'm just saying that I saw him sneaking up 2 items to package in one trip earlier today.
You can do that?
It just takes a little bit of planning. You all are tremendous workers. You just need an extra sense of intuition.
We're all putting in the same amount of work. The floor wouldn't be anything without all of us.
But it takes more than just hard work. You have to have instinct, too.
What do you mean by that?
You just need to utilize your imagination. Think of different ways to make the job you do easier.
But the way we package works, we've always done it just like we do now.
But there are other ways, smarter ways. That's why Sherman saw me carrying 2 items up at once.
I guess that makes sense.
Got any more clever ideas?
Are you all just seriously considering breaking the rules?
It's only a broken rule if you get caught breaking it. And besides, they won't get in trouble for listening.
Just quit it. You know just as well as we all do that everyone breaks the rules to get by.
Or just to make our lives a little bit easier.
Wheeler, you know that I collect empty food cans we eat at lunch to make sculptures. What have you ever done about that?
Well,
Nothing, right? Because we don't do that to one another. Oh, and everyone, don't forget to give me your cans when you're done eating.
Oh, what sculptures are you making this week?
Just more people. Mostly you guys. They kind of feel like my family. You know, since I don't have one. Kind of sad, I guess, but...
You know something, Sherman? I heard somewhere that if someone is thinking about you anywhere, that you have a place to call your home.
Anywhere?
For your family, whether you like it or not.
He's talking about parents.
Well, he's not special. You know we're all in the same boat as you.
Cut it out, Wheeler.
And besides, you all know just as well as I do that we foundlings have parents. Mr. Millions is our father, and our factory, AmeriCorp, is our mother. Our duty to our family and our country is to work for the sake of the factory.
But we also have to work for the family around us, too. One another. Have you ever met Mr. Millions before?
I'm not ready to yet, but I will. I have to become better first, the best at my job. I'm going to show my worth something when I meet him and prove to him that I deserve a contract.
You have a long way to go. If you can't even care about those around you...
Are you really just going to look me in the eyes and blatantly insult me like that? It doesn't matter if I live on site. I'll prove that I deserve it.
It's not because you live on site. I'm just speaking the truth.
Not so timid anymore, huh? Well, what are you doing then? Are you trying to challenge me here?
I didn't propose one, but I never back down if I'm challenged.
Well, then.
You know, maybe it'd be better not to...
You know, I had a roommate once.
Nice save.
Actually, it was almost for a year to cut the facility fee cost. That is before Bruce bailed out on me.
We already know, Cannon.
It's more like he figured out that it wasn't allowed. He got in a lot of trouble, no thanks to you.
You know, does that make you an angel? Thief? Think you should be on the tallest pedestal out of all of us?
Oh, great, more fighting.
Take that back.
What is Cannon talking about?
Go on. Tell them. Since we're all airing our dirty laundry.
I can't.
Want to.
Both. Telling you all will involve you if I ever get caught.
I mean, I don't think I need to tell you this, but we're all in pretty deep as it is.
He's right. If anyone gets caught for something, we'll all be brought in. And then no more Unit 106C. We have to keep our mouths shut.
Fine. I guess the line's been crossed.
That's supposed to convince me? I don't want to hear it.
Come on, we're a family that's got to stick together.
And if you can't, I'll have to shove some of these cans up your ears so that you can't hear me when I tell everyone what happened.
Fine, I guess I can't stop you, but I want no part in this.
All right. I guess I'll tell you my story then. It was almost a year ago. I kept having to package these pins that month, I guess they were popular or something, but they weren't just any pens. They were special because the ink never ran out. Infinity pens. I don't know. But I was just mesmerized by them. I studied every single detail, the tip, the barrel, grip support, and by the end of the month, I couldn't think of anything else. I just knew I had to have that pen. So I did. I took one.
Why the pen?
Yeah, why not something better or more useful?
I just needed it. I didn't know how to read or write. I guess something inside of me just wanted to, I wanted to learn.
And did you?
Well, I've been keeping a journal every night for the past 3 months.
You can read and write? You've got to teach me.
Wait. I want to learn too.
I can't. How would it look if all of a sudden someone accidentally let it slip that they can read and write?
Probably not great.
But how would they ever know? It's not like we'd have the opportunity to show off these new skills.
Quincy isn't as slow as he looks. He'd figure it out sooner or later and trick one of us into revealing the truth.
I agree. Now isn't the time to teach everyone, but Slater, I'd love to get my hands on that journal and read it.
You can read?
And write. Something I picked up on the outside.
What else don't we know about you?
Just like I don't know much about any of you guys. You don't know most of the things that make me who I am. Learning a person takes time.
Well, you're fitting in splendidly so far, Jay.
Truly, man. You're a welcome addition to the team.
To our family. Welcome to our family, Jay.
Thank you, Hall.
I propose a toast. A toast to Jay.
A wonderful idea.
Everyone, raise your cans.
The workers at the table all raise their food cans. Wheeler, reluctant and annoyed, lifts his ever so slightly like a disinterested and peeved child.
May your time here be long and fruitful.
No matter what, you will always be a part of Unit 106C. From now until the end of time.
May your work prosper and bring us all good fortune.
And production.
And production.
Hear, hear. How about a good old classic work song to celebrate and raise our spirits?
Singing? Really? What's next? Are you going to want us to start sharing our feelings?
Singing about how you feel is the best way to make the time go by quicker.
What a load of jam packages.
Does anyone know any songs?
We've never been allowed to sing.
The only voice I've ever heard is Miss America, singing the national anthem every morning over the intercom system to wake us up.
That's not exactly what I had in mind.
Oh, sorry, she just has such a lovely voice.
Why don't you teach us one?
Do that. I got it. Okay. How about this? Order, order, maintain the order. Long as it gets, we keep moving forward. Hotter than the sun, but we shine through the torture. Warmer slaughter, while Mr. Quinn just sips his water. Sits on his ass, but his voice knows how to wonder. Warning to work as our lives keep getting shorter. Sure, it's nice to have some rest, but working hard's what makes us workers.
Jay, did you just make that up?
I mean...
Genius.
Sing it again.
Yeah, could you teach it to us?
What's the point of learning a song that we won't even be able to sing?
Your head is always a good home for a song you can't sing out loud.
It's not breaking the rules if you only think about breaking the rules.
Maybe on our next lunch break when we have more time, I'll teach it to you guys.
Bad line about Quinny on his ass. Hilarious, Jay.
It's very catchy.
Warmer slaughter while our Quinn just sips his water, sits on his ass, but his voice knows how to wonder.
He'll be singing it in his sleep.
But only in his head while he's on the floor.
You mean while Quinn's on the floor?
Suddenly, the left sealer machine makes an audible static hum.
30 seconds, everyone.
Finish your meals quickly and get ready for the next cycle. And Jay, thanks for a fun lunch.
The
Amen to
workers
that.
scramble to clean up and prepare themselves at their stations.
I agree. It's been some time. Thank you, Jay.
It was my pleasure. My duty. Order, order, maintain the order.
If you all don't shut your mouths, I swear to.
By the time the double doors entrance swings open and Quincy enters, followed by 2 law enforcement agents. The law enforcement agents pick up and fold the table, taking out of the room and returning to their guard positions near the entrance afterwards, as the following dialogue takes place.
My, quite the commotion. Is everything all right, Wheeler?
I'm doing fine.
Oh, I hope so. I'm glad to see that you all are ready. Now that Quincy is back, we can get started. Now I want to see some real effort out of you pigs, and I'll just sit over there, and I'm gonna sip my water. Do you know why? I've earned the goddamn right to. I run this show, and you all will listen and give me the respect that I demand. Isn't that right, Jay? Hard work makes you workers. The pain, the torture, the slaughter, it makes us stronger. Picks out the weak from the rest of us. You know, you all spit in my face when you treat me like I'm weak. Like my job isn't important, like I sit on my ass and do nothing. I can hear it all. When you break my rules and don't listen to me, what else am I supposed to think? No more. I run a tight ship, the tightest one, and nothing is slipping through anymore. I'll have my eye around every corner, and so will the agents. Now get to work. You miserable lot. The cycle's starting now.
Quincy smashes the button on the control panel, and the workers begin their cycle. Scene 6. The next day, the room of Unit 106C is hard at work in the middle of a packaging cycle. Quincy is in a rather foul mood, barking orders at different members, but saving his nastiest comments for Jay. The workers listen, but do well to just ignore Quincy's spite.
I thought you'd all be working extra hard today, but you guys have gotten even softer than normal. Sherman, pick up your feet. Cannon, give Sherman a push. I need more speed. What's the issue? Strength? You should only be getting better. Time? You should only be getting quicker. And Wheeler, that's pitiful effort. Where would we be if I wasn't here to pick up the slack? Probably dead or in serious trouble with Mr. Millions. Oh, isn't that right, Jay? Why don't you all take a page out of my book and learn what commitment is?
The workers come to a stop for a moment before finishing their duties for that cycle. Some workers take pieces of equipment off, relax, or even use their bathroom bottles. Quincy continues to speak throughout.
Saved by the siren. Hurry up and finish. I've got to talk to you all before we head into our last cycle today. I have some very important news to settle this break. Come, gather around. We don't have much time.
The workers grumble and slowly pick themselves up, moving closer towards the center of the room.
Now, as all of you are probably aware, we've been down a man since the day Jane arrived and joined our happy little family. Well, it's been a hard transition without Ernest. Sometimes a quick turnover rate cannot be avoided. Things happen. I'm sure all of you have heard, but it's finally been made official. Our dear and beloved Ernest has been lost in the system.
Ernest? No.
We all know how few are found that get lost in the system. It's a reality we must face. I've already begun the process and applied for a replacement, but I figured it was the right time to memorialize our fallen family member and put the issue to rest. Because of that, I have organized a break funeral to be held in his honor. Bring it in.
The two law enforcement agents exit the room momentarily before returning, carrying in a simplified version of a casket. It should resemble the sealed packages of the room. They place it in the center of the room.
Thank you. Now for a few words that I've prepared. Ernest, this box may be empty, but it symbolizes something more because your spirit lives on within us all and within these walls. Ernest was a hard worker and a better man. He deserved more, and it pains me to see someone with so much experience leave us. But a fine example of a worker who listened to me and followed the rules. An invaluable skill. We will miss you, Ernest, and may your memory be blessed by all the work you've done for AmeriCorps. Thank you.
Are we allowed to say something too?
Was what I said not good enough for Ernest?
No. I mean,
Fine. I suppose so. Just make it quick, all of you.
Thank you. Rest in peace, Ernest. You're a lifesaver.
Ernest, thank you. Thank you for being a part of our family. Thank you.
I'm not good with my words, but you makes me want to say something. Thank you, Ernest. You won't be forgotten.
Like they all said, Ernest, you were special. You'll be missed dearly. You already are.
Anything else?
Jay, you're not going to say something?
I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. I'd only just met Ernest before.
Come on, Jay, he was family.
All of you have had such amazing things to say about Ernest. I feel as though I know who he is, or almost do, even if he didn't know me.
Not like he would have wanted you to say anything anyway.
Shut up, Wheeler. It's the point of it. Come on, Jay. Will you say something?
Yeah, please say something, Jay.
No one's making him here.
No, I want to say something. It's important. Ernest, you obviously meant a lot to this family. While I didn't have the privilege of getting to know you, I did work alongside you, even if it was for just a short time. Like all of us, you are a worker, an employee, part of the AmeriCorps family, even more specifically, part of ours, part of Unit 106C. You had all of our backs no matter what. I may not have the memories of you of everyone else has, but I could tell just how special you were by looking into your eyes. A true comrade. Your spirit will continue propelling us, and the work we do will always be.
All right, wrap it up already. We don't have all right. All break.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you all. That's all. That's it.
Well, then it's it for everyone. You took long enough, and now we're out of time. Get back to your stations. The cycle is about to start.
The two law enforcement agents return to the casket and pick it up. carrying it out of the room. They return to the floor moments later.
Thank you, Jay.
That was one of the better funerals we've had here.
Good stuff, man.
The workers make their way back to their stations and prepare their equipment and bodies for the next cycle. Annoyed, Quincy yells as he prepares to start the cycle, organizing and tracking production on his clipboard.
You shouldn't act like you knew him. Does that make you feel better about what you did?
I will never forgive myself for what happened. But I can't let his death be in vain.
I don't want to hear another peep out of any of you ungrateful bastards the rest of the shift. None of you are worth the wasted breath it takes to talk. None of you deserved Ernest. You all know absolutely nothing. I've absolutely had it. The cycle is starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin.
Quincy smashes a button on the control panel as the workers frantically begin their cycle.
Ernest. I'm sorry.
Scene 7. Later the same day, the workers of Unit 106C have just completed their final cycle of their shift and are packing up their various belongings. Quincy is berating Sherman, while the others stand anxiously ready for permission to leave.
Sherman, you're pulling me round in circles. I know something's either wrong or somehow you grew a lazy bone, which means something's definitely wrong with you.
What do you mean? I've been pulling my weight just the same as...
I've been looking at the numbers in the chart, Sherman. I know that you haven't.
But how can you really tell that?
I noticed that something wasn't normal. So I've been doing some digging and running the numbers.
Digging?
The numbers aren't equal, Sherman. Why the hell aren't they equal?
I don't know.
You mean you don't want to know? None of you do.
What is going on with you, Quincy? Our shift already ended. Can you get to the point?
You know, I thought that someone was breaking the rules and not doing as much as they should. Lo and behold, it's not just Sherman. It's all of you.
What do you mean?
All of the numbers are off.
What are you talking about?
I mean that no one on the floor is equal.
How is that possible?
Quinn, just put this to rest and let us go home. Come on, this has been a tough day. We're all tired.
You and Cannon can go home. You're the only ones whose numbers are even remotely close to one another.
Yeah, but...
I'm giving out citations. You really want to stick around?
On, Slater, let's just get out of here.
But this should be on all of us.
I'm happy to write you up as well.
Just calm down, both of you. Slater, come on, they'll be fine. They can handle themselves.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's a good explanation for all of this. You'll see, Q.
Slater and Cannon grab their belongings and walk towards the double doors. After they are scanned by the law enforcement agents and get cleared, the two of them exit.
Jay, Wheeler, get your asses over here. I'll deal with you first.
Jay and Wheeler look and snarl at each other before walking over to Quincy.
What is it?
Is that an attitude already? Oh, you'll be racking up the points on this citation by the time we're through here. There's one right there.
Oh, I was just asking a question.
Ooh, there's another one.
I'm not speaking anymore.
Oh, and another.
Can you just explain what's going on here? What did you find in the numbers?
Now, that's how you show your supervisor some respect.
Can you just get on with it?
Oh, you're on a roll. And another.
Jake, could you just relax? I want to get out of here, so listen already.
If you won't listen to me, you should really listen to him, Jay.
All right, Quinn, you have his full attention.
Good. Now, as I was saying, the numbers have been drastically different between each of the workers on the floor. Now, I've accounted for the fact that you're missing a person on your side, and that expected difference in your production rate should be compared to the other side. Yet somehow, even with one less person, you all are still packaging more items than them.
Isn't that a good thing?
Well, it would be good if your numbers were equal. You know, like they should be, but they're not. In fact, they're not even close.
What do you mean?
Well, Wheeler, It means that one of you is packaging nearly 4 times as much as the other.
4 times as much? How is that even possible?
At first, I thought it was one of you was slacking, but I did a little math and I realized something else.
Jay, what is he talking about?
I added up the numbers.
What about the overtime Jay's been working?
Even with those numbers, I still found the exact same data. I found that Jay has no regard for my words. That he's been breaking the law of my land, something I thought we had already figured out.
You're a fool, aren't you?
Watch it. You're in enough trouble as it is.
And you think you're better off? You were complicit in all of this, Wheeler. You knew the whole time what he was going on, what he was doing, and said nothing. You're even more of a fool.
I'm in trouble because he didn't follow the rules?
See it however you want. See it however you want. I've decided I'm going to give both of you 95 points for this infraction. See to it that you don't get yourself in any more trouble. Remember, if you reach the 100-point threshold, you'll earn a nice trip to the reflection room. And like poor Ernest, perhaps you're in.
Oh, hey, now that's enough.
Do you really want to test me further? You're sitting pretty at 99 points after all your other infractions.
Let's go already, Jay.
But why not? I'm already at 99. Why not just throw me in there already? I know you have it out for me.
Because I'm not done with you just yet.
Who'd ever said I'd let you finish?
Stop acting all high and mighty, Jay. We get it.
Jay, I'm not afraid to plan another funeral tonight. Maybe this time with a real body in the casket, eh? At least I'll finally be able to remember good times. You know, when everyone actually listened to me.
We'll leave. Come on, Jay, let's go. This is all your fault because you didn't follow the rules. There's no sense in starting anything now, and I'm definitely not going to the reflection room because of you.
Fine. But just you wait.
Oh, a very wise decision. You know that I only do these things because it's best for the company. I'm trying to make you both better workers too. One day you'll see it when you understand the power of discipline, believe me.
Quincy snaps and the law enforcement agents walk over.
Citations, please.
Very well. Please input your authorization PIN in my partner's number pad.
Law enforcement agent 2 reveals a number pad on his chest plate. Quincy types in his 4-digit PIN.
Verified and accepted.
Now, please input the details of the citation into the PIN pad.
Quincy types in the digits.
Verified and accepted. Citation printing.
Law enforcement agent 2 prints paper citations out of their mouth, which Quincy takes and hands to Jay and Wheeler. Jay and Wheeler take them begrudgingly.
Maybe Jay can read that out loud for you, since, you know, you can't. Did you know that Jay is a contracted employee?
Believe me, I know. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Jay and Wheeler are met at the exit by the law enforcement agents, who scan them before allowing them to exit the floor.
Oh, now to deal with you. I almost forgot him.
Me?
You thought I'd forget about what you'd done? Really, it must take me for some kind of fool, don't you? Don't you?
No, Quincy, just calm down. Why don't you tell me what's going on, write me my citation, and I'll be on my way. There's no need to get so twisted over this.
You're not getting a citation.
But you said that...
I said that I was handing out citations. I didn't specify who. With you, I'm afraid it's much more concerning.
What are you trying to tell me?
Why don't I make this perfectly clear? Your numbers are scraps compared to the rest.
How is that possible?
Don't play coy with me. Why can't you just make this a little easier for me, eh?
You don't know what you're talking about.
I can see you limping up the stairs, Sherman. I have eyes. I can see you winching in pain every time you take a step.
Wrong. I'm fine.
It's hopeless. Even now, you can't bear to put all your weight down on both feet.
Sherman attempts to put both feet down firmly, but recoils in pain.
I'm sorry, but you know what has to be done.
No, Quincy, you don't have to do this. I'll work through the pain. I'll put in 3 times the effort.
If you wanted to mask your deficiency, it's a little too late. With a leg injury, you're no help to us.
No, I can still do my job. It's just a sprain, I'm sure. I just need a little bit of rest. That's all.
If only that was something you could afford. You're more than replaceable at this point.
No, that's not true. You know I'm still worth something. Quincy, come on. How long have we worked together?
You know as well as I do that no exceptions can be made. What kind of precedent would that be for the rest of the unit? No, it wouldn't be fair. The number was catch up and they would bite us back in the back. Right in the back, right in the...
It would show us you cared, that you have a heart. I know you do, Quincy.
You're wrong. It would only show you how weak I am. That I'm not able to put the company and its interests before the life of some foundling.
Do I really mean nothing to you? Are you okay just letting me go? It's your choice, no one else's. You have the power to do what you want.
I have to report you. It's my duty as the floor manager. I'm sorry, son, that there's nothing else I can do.
Sherman crumbles to the ground and begins to cry. He grovels at Quincy's feet.
Please, you don't understand. I'll do anything, please. Just please, don't let them take me away.
Would you shut up? You're making this more difficult than it has to be.
No, please, I've given everything. My entire life to this company.
Your life is this company.
Quincy brutally kicks Sherman to put distance between them.
Pull yourself together.
No, you can't do this. My leg, you can't be sure that it...
Do you really want your final moments to be remembered like this? Just accept your fate as it comes.
If I make it back, you'll be sorry.
I already said you wouldn't be coming back.
Quincy stomps on Sherman's bad leg. Sherman howls in pain.
No, you bastard!
I'm done with you. Officers, take this employee to the medical bay for disposal evaluation.
You can't do this!
It's already done.
The law enforcement agents begin walking over to Sherman.
Very well. Please input your authorization PIN in my partner's number pad.
Law enforcement agent 2 reveals a number pad on his chest plate. Quincy types in his 4-digit PIN.
Verified and accepted.
Suddenly, Jay bursts through the room's entrance. The law enforcement agents stop.
Stop it right now!
Oh, come to play the hero, Jay, or just to anger me even more?
That's quite enough out of you.
Well, you're far too late. You think you can silence me? You think you can stop me? I'll send you both to the disposal if I have to.
Quincy, if you so much as lay another finger on Sherman, it will be the last decision you ever
You're in
make.
no position to be making demands, boy.
I am a worker on this floor, same as you, same as me, and same as Sherman.
And what difference does that make?
The workers on this floor are my brothers. Our concerns and interests are one and the same, or at least they should be.
You should be more concerned about yourself, especially since you've gotten yourself into this particular situation.
That's what I despise about you the most. You only care about Quincy.
Everything I do is for this unit, for my company.
Everything you do is for yourself. Look at you and your rules. If we did things differently, we'd get so much more done. We'd have time to take breaks where we could actually go to the bathroom. I've shown you. Instead, you're trying to get rid of one of your most loyal and hardworking brothers. You sit around calculating numbers behind our backs instead of buckling up and actually helping out. We're already a man down, and you think we can lose another? Lose half the team if you count me? You don't have the guts. You want to know why? Because then you'd have to pick up your fat ass and actually work like we do!
I don't have to stand here and listen to this. You vile, foul-mouthed child! You don't know anything about me!
Quincy haphazardly swings at Jay, but misses. Jay ducks and returns his own strike, which lands right on Quincy's temple. He staggers backwards and falls to the ground. Blood runs down his face.
Oh, you'll regret that. Officers, take them both away, now!
The law enforcement agents do not move. They stand frozen as if they have been deactivated.
What? You can't fight your own battles? Too weak to take me on?
You spineless brat! I'll kill you myself if I have to!
Quincy charges at Jay and tackles him. The two struggle on the ground, taking shots and landing punches on one another.
Sherman! Get yourself out of here!
Jay,
Get out of here! You don't want to be tangled in this!
Officers!
The law enforcement agents still do not move.
Jay, you don't need to do this!
I'll be fine, Sherman. Help yourself! Let me take it from here!
You better be here tomorrow. If you aren't, I won't forgive you, Jay.
Sherman scrambles and scurries out of the unit. The two continue fighting and move towards the control panel and Quincy's desk.
Oh, you snake!
Is that the best you got?
Oh, you heard me!
You won't get away from me!
Come on, let go of me!
Stronger than you look!
Get your hands off of me!
The couples bump into the desk and control panel, knocking over several things which spill onto the floor. The button that begins the patching cycle is also pressed. Noticing his clipboard, Quincy grabs it and smashes it against Jay's head as he was momentarily distracted by the alarm, knocking him out.
You put up a good fight, I'll give you that. But you can never let your guard down. Even around an old-timer like me.
Quincy, a bit of a bloody mess, looks around and sighs. Quincy stands himself up and walks over to the law enforcement agents, who still remain motionless. He waves his hands in front of their faces, but they do not move.
What pieces of junk? If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself, I suppose.
Quincy removes a pair of handcuffs from law enforcement agent one's holster and walks back over to Jay to inspect his body. He pokes Jay just to make sure that he is unconscious. Quincy drags Jay up the stairs by the collar of his shirt, at times struggling to bear the weight of his body. Finally, they arrive at the top of the ceiler and Quincy drops Jay's body near the front of the platform. Quincy handcuffs one of Jay's hands to the metal bar next to the ceiler. He then goes to the scanner and lowers his sleeve almost habitually, but quickly stops himself.
Dude! I've got to be sharper. You're really making me think tonight. Really making me work, huh? Oh, aren't you, boy?
Quincy walks back down the stairs and over to Jay's conveyor belt, where he grabs the gloves hanging on the hook. Quincy puts on the gloves and walks back up the stairs to the top of the sealer. Quincy delicately places Jay's hand on the sealer platform. Quincy then scans the barcode on the glove he retrieved and quickly goes back to Jay, grabbing his arm and holding it steady so that it can't be moved on the platform.
Wakey, wakey, nap time's over. You're in detention now.
The sealer's compression plate comes down in an instant, and immediately Jay's eyes beam open. As the plate comes back up, sobbing and groaning is heard, as Jay's body skirms around trying to control the pain.
My hand!
Oh, calm down, would you? I only took off one of your fingers, though the night is still young.
You coward! Are you here to torture me all night? I told you just to finish me off!
I've been trying to tell you that it's simply not as easy to get rid of someone with your privileges.
Well, you have the chance right now. Why not take it?
Unlike the foundings, you have a contract that ties you to the outside world. That means someone or something is looking out for you.
Who's looking out for you? Who in their right mind would waste
I
their...
look out for myself. That's an ability you seem to take for granted. In fact, you're even more of a martyr than Ernest was.
You say it like it's a bad thing to put others before yourself. If we aren't working for each other, then we're only working for ourselves.
So you're willing to put your own life on the line, even kill your supervisor to save Sherman.
I do it again and again and again and again for any of our members on the floor.
Regardless of the penalties? Despite the sacrifice involved in that?
Despite it all.
And without your life, how do you expect to do anything?
Because if I didn't, there'd be an even bigger penalty. One that I couldn't live with.
And what would that be?
Doing nothing. Standing by and watching as a friend died. That's worse than committing the deed yourself.
You know, Jay, we're not so different. I used to be like you a long, long time ago.
In another lifetime?
You might be surprised, Jay. I'm telling you this for a reason. You see, I still haven't given up on you.
You're mad.
I know your skills can be put to good use. In fact, I think you could have a very bright future here.
What do you know about success? You've never been anything more than this unit's supervisor.
I hold a very important position. This unit would cease to exist without me.
How many units are on this floor? In this building? In the grand scheme of the whole factory? In all of these years, you've never made it farther than where you are now, beyond the walls of this unit. At the end of the day, what do you really mean to the company, to AmeriCorps? I don't want your future.
You're nothing but a hypocrite. How can you tell me these foundlings are your brothers and then say something like that?
That's what makes a good leader. Caring about every single detail, no matter how small. Every single piece is important.
How can you sit there, missing a finger, and still think that putting others before you is what makes you a good leader? Sherman left you to die, and the others would do just the same.
So what?
Jay, you put far too much faith in others. It always ends up the same way.
And what way is that?
You leave yourself exposed. There is a deep selfishness that lives in the heart of everyone, and when you fight against it, you're punished. I don't want that for you, Jay.
So you took off one of my bloody fingers?
You have to learn how it feels, Jay. I found that pain and repetition are the most effective ways to do so.
So you're going to treat me like an animal? Just tie me up and beat me until I get the idea? Do you know what pain is? True pain?
I know pain better than you'll ever know.
If you know, then why?
Because it's necessary. To maintain control, it's necessary. There are always consequences when control is lost.
Well then beat me! Pulverize me! Take all my fingers while you're at it. Lose control. I refuse to listen to you.
Why the hell are you so stubborn?
Because my heart is stronger than anything you could ever do to me. I won't ever let go of what I believe in.
We'll just see about that.
Quincy scans the barcode on the pair of gloves he was wearing and quickly goes back over to Jay, who struggles to avoid Quincy's clutches. Quincy holds Jay's arm as still as possible so that it can't move on the platform.
You really are a coward!
Oh, just hold still.
Just too afraid to live your past?
Shut your mouth!
It's because you know I'm right. Come on, tell me! Just how many of us have you lost? Tens? 100? What did they mean to you?
The sealer's compression plate comes down in an instant. Jay's body squirms around, trying to control the pain.
Ah, God damn it! I told you, I can go all day.
What is wrong with you? How can you sit there bleeding and still somehow laugh?
There's nothing you can do to break me. Take off another finger.
Oh.
I dare you.
Shut up!
I had been read
Quincy kicks Jay in the ribs.
Is that all you got?
You just don't know when to go up.
And it seems you don't know how to listen. I'll show you what real commitment is. Something you know nothing about.
You know nothing, you pathetic brat!
Quincy slaps Jay across the face.
Please, enlighten me. Quincy, please, I'm begging you.
Wipe that smile off your face.
Make me!
Quincy slaps Jay across the face again.
Jay, just listen. I'm the only one left. I'm trying. I'm trying to tell you.
Because you killed the rest, or sat on their ass while they died.
You really know nothing. Unfortunately, I am the last of my generation. You know as well as I do that factory casualties are a part of the job.
But you don't have to sit and watch as they die.
You had no issue just sitting by when it was Ernest taking your place.
But I didn't.
You didn't what? No? Care? Does it really even matter? Everyone knows the risks when they sign up for this job. You signed a contract. You should know. You should understand that even more than the rest of them.
How fair is that to the foundlings? What does that say about what we think of them?
You really don't get it, do you? It's their souls that are important. Their bodies are just the work, the vessel of the work that they do.
How can you say that? These people, our family, are more than just their bodies of the work they do.
Jay, this factory works in a cycle. The souls of the workers we lose are always replaced, recycled to new bodies.
What are you saying?
As for us, the company places a little more value in workers like us.
Mr. Millions does.
Precisely.
And you aren't worried about him finding out that you removed 2 of my fingers?
I have you in the palm of my hand. As your supervisor, you can't touch me, especially now that I've seen your true colors. I'm not so stupid either. Remember, I survived here for 49 years. It wasn't by mistake.
Mr. Millions wants you gone. He knows how terrible you are.
Shut your mouth.
He told me that your job was as good as mine.
It's not true. I know he'd screw anyone to save even a penny, but I won't let him. I will get my retirement.
You know I'm right. He told me I was going to be one of the best damn workers he'd ever had. That I'm like a son to him.
It's almost adorable how naive you are. How many more like you do you think he has?
Shut up.
Listen, Jay, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. A man is not what he thinks he is. A man is what he hides. Watch your back when it comes to Mr. Millions.
I have a bright future here. He has a plan for me.
Exactly. He has a plan for everyone and everything. There's a purpose to everything he does. Just ask Celia.
Who the hell is Celia?
God damn it, she's my daughter. She used to work here.
You have a family.
I did. No, I do. I do have a family. The factory swallowed them up as well.
What do you mean?
I'm not sharing the details of my life with you.
Oh, wow. He finally starts opening up and is too lazy to even finish the job. Surprise, surprise.
You don't know anything about it. I am nothing but committed. I wake up early and ride the train each morning so I can see her before work. That's all I can give.
Cecilia?
Her body reminds me each day what I've given up, what I've sacrificed to be here for this company, what the factory has sacrificed to get here, and how much of a fool Mr. Millions is.
And what are you intending to do about it?
The law enforcement agents power back on and cross to the sealer. They slowly begin to creep up the stairs, one going up on each side.
What you see, Jay? That's what I've been explaining to you this entire time. There's nothing we can do. I maintain the order. I control our unit and keep us on track, whatever means possible, because that's what is needed. You can't unhinge everything just because you think it's best. I've been here for 49 years. You can't change this factory, and you can't change Mr. Millions.
So you stand for yourself.
I stand for myself because that is what everyone must do to survive, and I will survive. Even if it means that you don't.
What happened to your sense of hope?
To hope is to give up. Everywhere there is light, a shadow of darkness can always be cast over it.
How can you say that?
I play the role I've been given, just as you play yours. That's what Mr. Million wants. It's all just relational currency to him.
That is quite enough.
Speak of the devil.
We have direct commands from Mr. Millions to put an end to this confrontation right now.
Employee number 75392. Please come with me. You will report directly to the medical bay to seal your fingers.
Law Enforcement Agent 1 undoes Jay's handcuffs.
Employee number 00121. You will stay here with me while I take your report of the incident. Afterwards, I will escort you to Mr. Millions' office for a follow-up report.
Very well. Glad to see you all are working now.
Please come with me. You will receive your punishment once everything has been settled.
Law Enforcement Agent 1 leads Jay down the stairs. Jay is stopped and scanned by Law Enforcement Agent 1 before they both exit.
So, where should I begin?
How about your end? I believe it's finally time.
What?
50 years at the end of next week. Isn't that right, Quincy?
Suddenly, Law Enforcement Agent 2 lifts Quincy up by the throat and dangles him over the ledge. Law Enforcement Agent 1 squeezes his grip tighter as he chokes Quincy.
Get your hands off of...
It looks like you'll end up just like your daughter. What a shame.
Screw you.
Screw you.
I knew it.
Fallen right over the ledge.
Please, Jay. Someone, anyone help me. I'm begging you.
There's no helping you anymore.
Scene 8. An older styled candlestick is lit and sits on the desk of Mr. Millions. The chair at his desk is turned backwards and away from him. 2 law enforcement agents stand guard in front of his office door. Mr. Millions stands in front of an end table, spinning and toiling with his globe as he speaks.
You know, it's been quite some time thinking about all the memories we have. Brings a smile to my face. Well, at least now it does. How's your daughter doing? Has she woken up from her nap yet? Please do send her my regards. I'll have to send her over some flowers one of these days. I'm sure you could never afford any, but for you, I think we can consider it a company expense this one time. I can't remember the last. Nah, it's been far too long. She's become a very nice part of my collection. How time flies.
Mr. Millions walks over to his desk and spins around his chair to reveal the identity of the person he speaks to. The unconscious body of Quincy lays sprawled out on the chair.
Take yourself. The final piece of an era. The last pack rat left from the old world. How you've aged. How you lasted this long is beyond me. Oh, well, skill, was it? Strength, maybe? Unlikely. I know exactly how you did it. You survived. All of your time here showed that survival was the only way. But you had something special. Something even more valuable than the desire to survive. Even with your body failing, you found a way to keep going. I suppose that's admirable.
Mr. Millions walks over and flips over a rather large hourglass.
To have a goal that you reach for your entire life, that's more than I can say about most of the workers in my factory. Your connection to the world beyond the walls of this factory, well, that's what drives you. I see it in that J, in several of the underlings that I have found, this spirit or love. Too much of it can be dangerous in the wrong hands. That's when I step in and seize control.
Mr. Millions walks over to a table with an intricately patterned vase. He picks it up and chucks it at the ground.
You have no idea how much power comes in the ability to choose. To decide your own fate is another thing. That is one power that I hold solely in this factory.
Mr. Millions walks back over to his desk and opens one of the drawers. He pulls out an old but sharp and very beautifully designed knife. Mr. Millions holds the blade against his own throat. Quincy still lies in the chair motionless.
And I could take it at any time. The dominoes that would begin to fall, oh God. Yet it shall never come to be. But a little excitement can always get the heart rate going again.
Mr. Millions lowers the knife.
AmeriCorp's final chapter from the old world. This book is tired. Let's close it. Give the spine a rest. You'll always be here within my reach when I need you, just like all of my employees. I love them all. which is why I keep them close to me.
He walks over to a package that is sitting on his desk and uses the blade to open up the ceiling. He peers inside before closing it back up.
Ernest was a pleasant surprise, that's for certain. Your unit has produced several pieces, very important pieces in my collection. And you will be the cherry on top. Or at least until Jay surpasses you. He seems to make things happen wherever he goes. This is all thanks to him, of course. It shouldn't be long now. Well, I suppose it's time then. I don't think I can wait any longer. Officers, take this employee to the human stockpile for disposal. And bring me back the head.
Mr. Millions claps, and the two law enforcement agents walk towards the chair. They lift Quincy's body from the chair and walk over to Mr. Millions.
Very well. Please input your authorization PIN in my partner's number pad.
I think my money speaks louder.
Your password has been verified and accepted.
Thank you. Your request has been authorized. Employee number 00121 will now be escorted to the human stockpile for disposal.
The law enforcement agents begin carrying Quincy's body out of Mr. Millions' office.
You know, if you weren't so old, you'd make a lovely law enforcement agent yourself. Actually, officers, just one moment, please. There's one more thing that my colleague can do before he leaves.
The law enforcement agents stop in their tracks.
Permission to abandon your initial request, sir?
A simple hold will do.
Granted.
Excellent. Now, I want you to carry the body over there.
Mr. Millions guides the law enforcement agents over to the space he indicated and demonstrates what he wants.
Hold him by the arms. Have his body standing right there, just like that. Perfect.
The law enforcement agents stand, holding the arms of Quincy's limp body, so that the body's posture mimics a crucifix.
Quincy, I think this will be the fondest memory I have of you. I'll cherish it forever. In your final moments, you gave your life to the company. A wonderful image. What an ending to your story.
End of Act 1.
Hello, and thank you all so much for coming. That concludes our presentation of the performance. Again, I want to thank you all for coming to work for a living. I want to also invite you all to please fill out that form that I've created so that I can hear your feedback, which will aid in the research of my project and the development of this script further and beyond the scope of this project. The link for that can be found in the Facebook event page or in the Zoom link of this call. For those of you that maybe missed any part of this performance, the reading will also be available on YouTube later tonight, and you can find that on our social media. Again, thank you all so much for coming, and I hope you have a lovely night.